Okay, here we are. We're gonna show you how to work the PhotoDirect app. I'm already logged in. You'll have a vendor code and a password to get in here. Once you put that in, it's gonna start up by asking you a few questions. What language you want. Most likely you're gonna pick English. You're gonna go back. Vacancy credentials. I don't know what that is. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Check-in. Location check-in, that's off. Enable notifications. This is nice if it works. It usually doesn't, but it's nice if it does. You're going to enable like SMS. That's where you would go and you could put in your number, Shannon's number. That way, when you transmit an order, it will let her know. If not, you guys need to make sure. Oh, we're going to go back here. You guys need to make sure that basically you're saving the work order numbers, and that way at the end of the day you can kind of tell her what's going on, what you did for the day. But we're going to we're just going to select one of these and run through it. We're not going to transmit it though. We're not going to queue it or transmit it. But remember, you can mow 2 days before or the day of the due date. Never any earlier than 2 days before the due date. This is the work order number we're going to do right here, 192898333. I want you to write that down on a piece of paper, and at the end of the day you'll transmit that to Shannon to let her know that that's the work order you completed. We're going to select this job right here. Select it. Okay, it opens this up, kind of a crummy picture, but that's a picture of the house. Basically, it tells you the due date, 9/15/2017 is when it's due, which was yesterday. Now that could have been mowed as early as the 13th. Down here at the bottom, you can see where it says start. We're going to click that. Okay. Occupancy. You have to answer the occupancy. If you don't answer that one, it will not transmit. And you also have to answer it correctly, because if you don't, it will it may only tell you to take one picture if you answer it and say that the property is a vacant land. It's not a vacant land because there's a house on it. Right now it's telling us to take 0 pictures up here. The camera has a 0 on it. We're going to select occupancy. Okay, September 16th. This is the date we're going to do this. It's already selected. We're going to roll forward. Is property vacant land? This is where you want to say no. Occupancy status. It is vacant. Okay. Photos are now required. As you see up here, it says 1. 1 photo is required. Okay. Now we're going to go down to see, this is checked. Occupancy checked. That means you did that. Go ahead and go to grass edge lines. This is just making sure that you don't miss anything, that we don't miss anything, that you get paid for what you're doing. Type of yard. Most likely it's going to be a standard lot. When was it done? September 16th, 17. Go ahead and go forward. Was yard maintenance grass cut completed? Yes. If it wasn't, we'd need to know why it wasn't. Was yard maintenance completed into the backyard? Yes, we always mow the backyard. If there's any reason we don't, you would let Shannon know. That way nobody gets in trouble. Landscaping. Click that one. Do we remove debris? If you remove like sticks and stuff, you could claim that as cubic yardage. I think it's $15 a cubic yard for sticks, leaves, whatever. But we're going to say no. Now we got three done. We're going to do shrubs, trees, and vines now. It says, are shrubs present? If they're wore and they needed cut, contact Shannon. We want to make sure that everything pays right. Sometimes we're not supposed to cut them, sometimes we are, sometimes we're supposed to bin them, but we're going to say, are shrubs present? We're going to say no. Upon arrival, are trees causing violation or damage to the property? If trees are hanging over sidewalks, we can get paid to trim them. We never cut them down, we trim them. If they're touching the house, we can trim them. We still never cut them down. We're going to say no, though, for this. We got 4 stations complete. And we're still at 1 picture up here right now. Exterior. Select that. Any citation or violation notices. If there is, you'd say yes and take a picture of it. That way Shannon gets it and we can upload it to Safeguard. We're going to say no. Okay, you can see that we've got all these checked. That's what we want. We're still at 1 right here. We're going to go down here and you'll see a little hammer. Click that. Yard maintenance, work completed. Select that, yard maintenance. Hit done. Right here it says, let's see, we're going to go back down. Let's hit this hammer again. It should take us to, select done again. Let's go to details. Let's go back. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here, I guess. I just hit resume and went back. Yard maintenance. It should take us in and show us all these should change to about 18 minimum. Yard maintenance. Did this order have any exceptions to the grass cut? Right. We're going to say no. If it was 13 inches, that's an extra $20. We're going to say no. Every phone is a little bit different. Okay, here it is. This is what I was looking for. Add yard maintenance task. Hit plus. We're going to do a grass recut. And you would select these if you were doing anything. If you're adding leaves, then of course we would add leaves, but we're not going to be adding any leaves. So we're going to go back to stations. Now we should be able to hit the hammer down here. And then our pictures went to 19 up here. So let's go ahead and select the camera. And then these here are all the pictures you got to take. Now they're not in any real great order, but for example, this yellow one, that is your required occupancy. Select that. Now we're not actually going to take pictures of the house or anything. I'm sitting in my office here, so I'm just kind of giving you a rundown on what it does. It says photo director would like to access the camera. I'm going to hit OK. Now the camera's on. If you were to, this is actually the viewfinder. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to select the little camera icon, take a picture. Up to the top, there's an X right up here. Let me turn this light on. There's an X right here. We're going to go back. We're going to select the next label, grass cut. We're going to select that again, take a picture, go back. Every time we take one of these, that label is going to disappear. You can hear it taking the picture. Just keep going back and forth. After backyard, you're going to probably jump through these back and forth, but we would actually be taking a picture of the house right now for whatever it tells us to take, whatever label. I'm just taking them all. You can take more than one picture if you need to. Sometimes it'll tell you over on the right that it needs more than one picture. Over here, see 0, 1, whatever it says 2, then you can take 2. But every time we take a picture, that label will disappear. You don't go any further until these labels are all gone. That way you can't miss anything. Yeah, just screwed up there. Let's see. You might want to select this one down here. I mean, just depends where you're at in the yard. I mean, you can jump around during weed whacking. You got behind outbuildings or garage, if there is such a thing. Top down view of flower beds. They don't want any debris left in any of these properties. No grass clumps, nothing. During lawnmower front. There's also a during lawnmower back, which you can take a picture of your foot. You don't have to take a picture of the lawnmower sitting there by itself. Just as you're mowing, take a picture of your foot. After side, I'm not reading all these off, but I'm just taking them off. Before front, see, that should have been like at the top of the list. During lawnmower back. Okay, and then we got under deck or side stairways. Now, as you see, when we go back here, all of our pictures are gone. Required pictures, there are no more. So once the whole thing is completed, you would go back, basically you would go all the way back to this screen, and it says work order completion, 6 of 6 stations completed. So basically we're done, we're ready to transmit this order. All you would have to do is hit this upload right here, this box with the arrow, and it will probably take it to the queue screen, which is basically a safe spot. Like if you don't have a good LTE signal, you don't want to transmit. You would just put it in the queue, let it sit there, and then you could come back later and transmit them all. If you got 2 or 3 in there, that's fine. If you want to check your pictures, you can go down here and hit gallery. It'll show you all your pictures you took. You can hit view all, and there's all the pictures that I just took of the wall here in my office. Those would normally be like the backyard, the front yard, whatever lawnmower pictures. Let's go back. We're gonna go back again, and then there it is. That's it. If you have to take any pictures that you might have forgot, or say a door is falling off the house, you can hit the camera button down here. It'll open up the camera. You can just take a miscellaneous picture or whatever. You've got a map thing here. If you select that, it supposedly will take you to basically where the property is, kind of like a GPS. It's not usually, well, I'm not gonna say not always right, because sometimes it is. But that's pretty much it. I mean, instructions up here. If you open this, it'll tell you all about the work order. If you got any questions on anything, like if there's a tree down or something, it'll tell you what they expect. Some jobs want you to bid them. Some jobs want you to, just go ahead and clean them up. But I would prefer you to call Shannon. We're gonna go back to info. So basically that's it. I'm not gonna do any further with this one, because if I do transmit it, then the guys will have a hard time getting in here and doing this order, because it'll be gone. So that's all there is to it. I guess we will just go back to the order list, and that's it. So I guess we'll talk later. Thanks.